Hi class, welcome to week 7 of BUAD 201. This week we're going to be discussing chapter 8 of your textbook. You're going to have a class activity that you're also going to need to complete in regards to our lecture today. In addition, you're also going to have your first quiz to complete. Your first quiz is going to be on chapters 1 through 6, and you also have an online course survey which needs to be completed by Sunday 11:55 p.m. So hopefully you were able to do that today. I wanted to give you guys a day to complete that quiz. If not, please try to complete it by Sunday, but we'll talk a little bit about that more into detail. So for your first task, I want you guys to read chapter 8 in your textbook. Make sure you have a good understanding, good foundation of what chapter 8 discusses, because remember, in our lectures, we don't cover every single part of the chapter. I go over some of the most important parts of the chapter that we lecture about, and it's up to you to make sure that you read the entire chapter. In addition, make sure you watch this weekly class video. And do me a favor, please don't fast forward through any of the video because you may miss something that can be crucial for something for you to complete. In addition, make sure to complete your Chapter 8 Mind Tap homework. And you're also going to need to complete Quiz 1, which is located right here under File Attachments for this week. And if you click on Quiz 1 here, you're going to go ahead and start the quiz after you read these directions. You're going to have 12 minutes to complete the quiz. You only will have one attempt to take the quiz. So please do not take it until you are ready. Once you do start it, the clock will start. Even if you try to close the window out, the clock continues to run even with the window closed. So make sure you leave 12 minutes to complete the quiz. There will be a total of 12 questions on this quiz, which will be multiple choice and true false. If I'm not mistaken, I believe there are 6 multiple choice and 6 true false questions. Only one question will display at a time, and once you answer a question, you can't go back to the previous question. So once you're ready, you're going to go ahead and click the begin button to start your quiz. All right, let's go ahead and go back. So here you'll have your Chapter 8 lecture along with the week 7 class activity for you to complete. So again, when you're ready to start your class activity, just open this link and download your week 7 class activity document, and then you're going to go ahead and upload it. Remember, this is going to be due at the end of each week, so it will be due this week by Sunday 11:55 p.m. And the final thing you're going to need to complete is the survey. So please complete this 10-question survey. It pertains to our online course. Again, the survey is optional and it will not count towards your grade, but the data collected really helps the university have a better understanding of these online courses that they offer. They see certain things maybe they need to improve in. They kind of get an idea of what kind of workload you have. Is it too heavy? Is it too light? And it really just kind of gives us a better overall idea of what your personal opinion is on these online courses. So if you can, please complete the survey. It takes maybe less than 5 minutes to complete. When you are ready, you will just click here. Come to the survey, and it's about, I believe it's exactly 10 questions. Yep, it's 10 questions. Once you're done, you just click this done button and you'll be good to go. You only have to take it one time, and again, it's going to be available until Sunday 11:55 p.m. So hopefully you were able to complete it on Monday. If not, no worries, just try to get it done by Sunday night. So let's go ahead and start on our chapter 8 lecture. When you are ready, make sure you have your week 7 class activity open. All right, so we're going to talk about chapter 8 today. So make sure you open up your week 7 class activity document. You save it as you go and just answer the questions from the different activities on our video lecture, and then you'll be good to go. Just upload it after our lecture. So First, I want to talk a little bit about the routine request, response, and instruction messages that your book discusses. So, in the workplace, positive messages can take the form of emails, memos, or a letter. Remember, these are the three formats that you need to make sure you know because this is what's going to consist in your next in-class writing activity, writing assignment. For your first in-class writing assignment, you wrote a letter. Now, in this upcoming live class that we have for your in-class writing assignment, you're going to either write an email, a memo, or a letter, and it will be a persuasive message. So make sure you know all three of the formats for email, for a memo, and for a letter. So again, in the workplace, positive messages can be anywhere from an email. Maybe you're responding with a positive message to your boss, to a coworker, to a client, to a customer, and you're doing it through email as maybe a customer service representative. Or maybe with a memo, you work in a human resources department, and you're telling the employees we've decided to give Monday off, for a holiday. That would most likely come in the form of a memo. Or maybe with a letter format, you're writing to a client, but it's going by maybe snail mail, and this letter is going to be mailed out through the post office, and it's just something to kind of give them an idea of what may be taking place in your organization, or maybe they're receiving some good news like a coupon in the mail or whatnot. So you do have these three different styles of format. Make sure you know them well. Make sure you know them inside and out, because your next in-class writing assignment, when we meet for our second live class meeting, is going to be in one of these formats. So the majority of your business messages will involve routine requests and responses to requests, which are organized directly. So what that means is that you're going to, if you're working in an organization, you're going to have routine requests that you need to take care of, and you need to respond to these requests. There's a certain way to respond to them. Understanding who your audience is. This is something we talk about constantly. Who is your audience? Is it your boss? Is it a coworker? Is it a client? Understanding your audience and how you respond to these routine requests will really help shape what kind of message you're going to write, what kind of information you're going to use in that message, and so on. Let's say, for example, you're writing a positive message to your boss, and let's say you work at a Disneyland, and you're writing a positive message to your boss to let him know about to let him or her know about something that may be going on within the organization. And you want to express to your boss your gratitude, and you want to let him or her know about what Disneyland is doing to to help their coworkers be more happy. So when you start this message to your boss, you may open up with a fact that goes into the positive news to let your boss know what is going on. But you're not going to open up with, a question like, hey, boss, did you know Disneyland is the happiest place on earth? Well, I have something happy to tell you. Obviously, your boss knows Disneyland is the happiest place on earth because he or she works there. They know the slogan, they know what it's about. But maybe if you're sending a message to a prospective client who may not be too familiar with Disneyland, and you may be sending them, maybe free passes for Disneyland, well, maybe in the beginning you can say something along the lines like, hey, did you know that Disneyland is the happiest place on earth? We would like to give you two tickets, two free entrances, tickets to Disneyland for this upcoming month, something like that. That's when you can use a slogan, with what I mean by knowing your audience. So you're not going to use the line, did you know Disneyland is the happiest place on earth, to your boss, where a prospective client may need to know that. So understanding your audience is going to be very important and crucial when you respond to these routine messages. So let's take a look at writing requests. So when you write messages that request information or action, and you think your request will be received positively, start with the main idea first. So whenever you're writing a positive message and you know that information is going to be exciting about a positive message, you want to start with that good news first. Um, this is what's really going to help you kind of create and define the message that you're writing. And again, the most positions in a message are the opening and closing. So readers tend to look at these first. This is when a reader connects with what it is you're writing about. Usually the first sentence and the last sentence is something that they're going to remember. Maybe not the first sentence and last sentence, but the first idea and last idea. These are things that are going to have the best and strongest ideas for your receiver to understand what it is you're writing about. So again, put the most significant statement first. This is what you want to open up with. So for your class activity 1, writing a positive message will have the most important information first, very similar to a direct message. So for your activity, you work at Best Buy as a customer service specialist. You need to contact the customer to inform them a refund will be given to them for a television which was purchased at Best Buy. The customer has been frustrated because they have called multiple times and have yet to receive an answer on if they would get a refund. Your boss has finally given you permission to fully refund the client for their television. So think about the situation. Think about your audience in this case. So you're a customer service specialist. You're dealing with a client that you're going to give this client fantastic news. They're going to get refunded on a TV that broke, wasn't working, something happened to it, but they're going to get their refund back. But on the other hand, your client in this case is very upset because they've been trying to get a hold of someone. They've been looking for an answer. Hey, what's going on? Am I going to get refunded? So at the same time, this can be a very frustrated client, but you are giving them good news. So keep that in mind. So I want you to write 2 to 3 sentences on how you would begin your message to your client. So pretend this is an in-class writing assignment and you are writing to your client. What are you going to say in that first paragraph? So for those first 2 to 3 sentences, it can even be 4 if you would like. How are you going to say it? Make sure to write concise. You always want to write in a concise manner, just like we've been talking about for business writing. Keep it short, simple, to the point, and make sure you get your idea across. So how are you going to open up with this good news and be direct about it? So think of this as the first part of your writing assignment, that very first paragraph. This is where you give the main idea of what you're writing about. How are you going to write it? What are you going to say to this customer? So, take about 10 minutes to complete this activity. If you need more time, that's fine. But for now, just go ahead and pause this video lecture and go ahead and resume once you've completed your class activity number 1. So I want to talk a little bit about what companies are doing now with their social media responses. So a lot of organizations now, they're focusing in quite a bit in social media, which I'm sure you're very familiar with. Well, the only issue with this is that you're going to get people who are going to complain about what is going on. They're going to not only have positive comments, they're going to also have negative comments as well too. So what a lot of organizations are doing is they're hiring people to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week that just follow their social media for a company. One person isn't going to work a 24-hour straight shift, but what they'll do is, for example, let's say Bank of America, they're going to have 4 or 5 social media customer service respondents. And one person may work from 2 p.m. to 12 midnight. Then another person may work 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Now, what these people are responsible for are going on Bank of America's social media sites, sniffing out those negative comments, finding out what's going on, and trying to resolve them to turn them into a positive situation. So a lot of organizations are helping their employees know how to respond to people when you are dealing with social media, just how you're going to respond to a client when you're writing a welcome message, a direct message, a positive message, a negative message, a persuasive message, but this focuses more on social media. So figure 8.4 of your book shows a social media response flow chart. So to help their employees make a prudent decision about whether and how to respond to online posts, companies are creating these decision trees and diagrams, such as this one shown here. So first you start, is this comment positive or neutral? Does a comment violate your established social media comment policy? If yes, you can see that you come all the way over here to a policy violation. And this is where it gives them an idea of, hey, is this vulgar or abusive language? Is it a personal or obscene attack? If so, you documented it and you delete the comment and it's done. So if it doesn't violate it, you say no, you come down here, you add value. Can you add value by showing appreciation or by providing additional information? Yes, I can. Then go ahead and comment and respond. No, then let it stand. No response is necessary. Then if you're looking at a negative comment, same thing. You look at this different flow chart. If does a comment violate your established social media comment policy? If yes, you go all the way here to the policy violation. If no, is this trolling? So trolls have no valid reason for being angry. Does the attack have merit? If no, then you just let it stand. If yes, then you look at misinformation. Does a comment contain incorrect information? If yes, then you provide facts. You respond with factual information and cite your sources. This way, this person knows, hey, you're wrong. Here are the facts. If no, maybe it's, whoops, let's go back. Sorry about that. If no, then it's just an unhappy customer. Is the comment the result of a negative experience with your business? If yes, you serve the customer. Admit mistakes and rectify the situation if possible. If no, add value. Can you add value by showing appreciation or by providing additional information? So stating a clear claim in the opening. So when you as a customer have a legitimate claim, you can expect a positive response from a company. Smart businesses want to hear from their customers. They know that retaining a customer is far less costly than recruiting a new customer. So maybe you were on a flight for American Airlines, and American Airlines they had a 3-hour delay, and because of this delay, you missed an important business meeting. So what you can do is you can contact this company, American Airlines, and you can open up a legitimate claim. And how are you going to portray this? What are you going to say to let them know, hey, I have a legitimate claim. This is what happened to me. I'm letting you guys know. So open claim with a compliment. You usually want to open up with a compliment to let them know that, hey, you are a satisfied customer. You're not here to really bash the company, but you're here to kind of resolve an issue of what happened. You know, um, um, I've been traveling with American Airlines for 5 years. It's one of my favorite airlines. I love the service on the flights. Then in the body of a claim message, explain the problem and justify your request. My flight was delayed, and it was delayed because the flight crew didn't come from another city because they were delayed. It was a really big domino effect, and you missed a meeting, a very important, crucial meeting for your business. And justify your request. What is it that you're asking? And then end the claim message with a courteous statement that promotes goodwill and summarizes your action request. So here, this is when you let American Airlines know, hey, going forward, I'm still going to be a client, but I just want to let you know about the situation. So you can say something along the lines like, I appreciate you getting back to me. I do know that American Airlines really supports their customers, and I look forward to hearing back from you. You're ending with that positive statement. So direct positive message when you're responding to customers. So, for your first in-class writing assignment, it was a little different. You did just a direct message. Well, with a positive message and you're responding to customers, there's 5 things you need to consider. Be positive, be transparent, be honest, be timely, and always be helpful. So be positive. Let the client understand this is a positive moment. I'm letting you know that there's some great news coming your way. You always want to show that positivity. Be transparent. Do not hide anything that you think the customer needs to understand. You want to let them know what's going on. Don't try to hide anything because this may show that you're lying. Be honest. Always tell the truth when it involves ethical behavior. Remember, you represent this company. Not only do you represent yourself as an employee, but you represent the company. And this is important to always be honest. You never want to lie on behalf of the company, even if it's something your fault. Admit to it. Show remorse. Show that you're going to work on this going forward. And of course, be timely. Try to respond within 24 hours. Going back to being honest and being timely, don't if you know that you need to respond to someone because it is your fault, that's fine. You can let them know, hey, this is my fault, but be timely with it. Try to respond within 24 hours to let them know you're sincere about it. If you wait a week to respond, that client is going to be pretty upset that it took you that long just to respond, and now the merit of you being honest is just going to go out the window. So make sure to be timely, and again, be helpful. Ask if they need further information or if there is something you can do to help. So deciding whether to apologize, this is a really important and kind of fine line, and this is something that you need to know. So whether to apologize, it really is a debatable issue. Some business writing experts advise against apologies, contending that they are counterproductive and merely remind the customer of the unpleasantness related to the claim. If, however, apologizing seems natural, then you can do it. So it's something that you did an error, or maybe your company did an error, then yeah, you can apologize for what happened, because not only does this show transparency, but this shows honesty. It shows that you have remorse, you do apologize for what happened. But if it is not something where it's the company's or organization's fault, it's out of their hands, you don't want to apologize, because if you do apologize in that sense, now you're almost admitting fault and you're letting the client know, hey, we are sorry. So you're letting them know this is our fault, even though it isn't. So you really only apologize when it is your company's fault, or if it is your fault. People do like to hear apologies. So a well-timed apology can increase the culprit's influence and likability. They will be perceived as more trustworthy. So going back to this slide with being timely and being honest, if you are going to be honest and admit to a mistake, do it within 24 hours. Let them know that you are there to respond. So showing confidence in the closing. So when you're writing a positive message, you always want to show confidence at the end of this positive message. So end positively by expressing confidence that the problem has been resolved and that continued business relations will result. So, hey, we're fixing this issue. Going forward, we want to continue our business with you. Remember, you always want to keep in mind that it's easier to retain a client than it is to try to find a new client. So you might mention a product in a favorable light, suggest a new product, express your appreciation for the customer's business, or even anticipate future business. So at the end, hey, Mr. Smith, it's been wonderful working with you. We appreciate you having you as a customer. We also want to let you know about some great upcoming opportunities with our organization. You will be seeing an email coming in your inbox in the next week showing some new products that we're going to have available. So you're really trying to, keep them tied into your company, keep them tied into your organization with that sign off. So for your class activity number 2, so apologizing can be difficult to do so, especially when there's a fine line of if you should do it or not. Think about what was discussed in our lecture and in your textbook when it comes to apologizing. So for this activity, in class activity number 1, you wrote a response to a customer who was upset about not hearing back from Best Buy regarding a refund. You know, but you did give the customer good news. So when you replied to the customer with the good news, did you apologize for having it take so long to get an answer? If so, why? If not, why not? Please use reasoning to explain why you did or did not apologize. Now keep in mind, there's really no right or wrong answer for this activity, because in that situation for class activity number 1, which you have already written, if you did apologize, you should have apologized for maybe taking so long to reply to the client, but explaining to them this is why we took so long. If you didn't apologize, that's fine too, because maybe that's just how long it takes to hear back from your boss, who then has to hear from their boss in order to get an approval for a refund, and that's just Best Buy's way of doing business. So keep in mind, no right or wrong answer for this class activity, but just make sure to answer these questions. So take about 10 minutes to complete this activity. Once you are done, go ahead and upload it to the week 7 class activity, which is right here. And again, that's it for this week, class. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to reach out to me. I look forward to the results of the survey as well too. So please make sure to complete that survey and your quiz number 1, and of course your chapter 8 mind tap homework. I wish you guys all the best of luck and have a wonderful week.